Let's talk about a name some Chiefs fans still remember. A former wide receiver who once showed flashes of promise in Kansas City, but now finds himself without a team as training camp looms. This player had a few moments where it looked like he might carve out a solid role in the NFL, especially during his time with the Chiefs. Maybe you recall a catch here or a big play there that got you excited about his potential. But now, as teams finalize their rosters, he's still searching for a spot. So, who is he exactly? What's his story, and why is he still unsigned while the rest of the league is gearing up? To put it simply, he's a player who had his shot but never quite landed a consistent role. During his stint with Kansas City, he had enough talent to catch some attention, whether with speed, route running, or special teams contributions. That said, he never became a household name or a go-to target. Chiefs fans might remember him as a depth piece or someone who flashed in preseason games but didn't quite break through when the regular season started. But despite that, he clearly still believes he has what it takes to make an NFL roster. Now, it's natural to wonder how a player with Chiefs experience ends up still unsigned this late into the offseason. The NFL is brutal when it comes to competition, especially at the wide receiver position. Teams often bring in a dozen or more receivers every year, and the margins between making the squad or being cut are razor thin. Injuries, coaching changes, or even just being in the right place at the right time can all make or break a player's career. So what do you think? Do you remember this player's best moment with the Chiefs? Was there a game or a catch that stuck out to you? Let me know in the comments. And just between us, do you think he still has what it takes to stick with a team this season? Yes or no? Your opinion really matters here. Also, if you want more inside info on Chiefs players old and new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. All right, we're just getting started. Next, we'll dig into why this talented wideout is still without a team and what challenges he's faced on the path back to the NFL. If you're a fan who wants the full picture, stick around. Now, let's dig into why this former Chiefs wide receiver is still without a team as training camp kicks off. It's never just one thing that keeps a player on the outside looking in. Sometimes it's about injuries that slowed them down or affected their performance. Sometimes it's about timing, being caught in a crowded position group with younger, flashier players pushing for the same spot. And sometimes it's just plain bad luck. For this particular receiver, a combination of factors has made it tough to find a roster spot. In recent seasons, he struggled with some nagging injuries that limited his chances to show what he could really do on the field. Teams want dependable players who can stay healthy and consistent, especially at wide receiver, where the physical toll is high. Those injury concerns might have made teams hesitant to invest in him as a reliable option. Beyond injuries, there's also the challenge of standing out amid a deep pool of talent. The NFL is filled with players hungry to prove themselves, and every offseason, teams sign veterans, rookies, and undrafted free agents competing for limited spots. When a player isn't able to clearly separate himself, whether due to performance, speed, or just chemistry with the team, it can be tough to land a contract. Off the field, sometimes there are factors that fans don't see, but that impact a player's chances. Whether it's how a player fits into a team's culture, work ethic, or even things like special teams contributions, every detail matters. And while we don't have the full inside scoop, it's safe to say that this player hasn't yet convinced a team he's the missing piece. Have you ever seen a player lose his chance because of injury or just bad timing? Maybe a guy you really liked just never got the break he deserved? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, who do you think is the most underrated wide receiver out there that deserves a second chance? I'd love to hear your picks. And hey, if you want the latest updates on the Chiefs and all the roster battles, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're here bringing you fresh news daily. Next up, we'll take a closer look at the Chiefs' current wide receiver group and why it's so tough for this former WR to break back in. Stick around, because you'll want to hear this. Now, let's zoom in on the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver situation as training camp opens. because understanding that depth chart really helps explain why this former WR is still on the outside. The Chiefs have a crowded group of receivers competing for a limited number of spots, and the team's focus on youth and proven talent makes it a tough roster to crack. At the top of the chart, you've got the established stars who are locked in as starters. These guys bring consistency, big play ability, and veteran leadership. Behind them, the Chiefs have some promising young players, rookies and second-year guys, who bring speed, energy, and potential. They're hungry and ready to prove they belong, and that's exactly the kind of competition that can push a veteran to the sidelines. There's also the question of special teams. The Chiefs often look for receivers who can contribute on kickoff and punt coverage, so if a player can't show value beyond just catching passes, that can hurt his chances. And with draft picks and free agent signings coming in every year, teams always want fresh legs and new talent to develop. For this former Chiefs receiver, the depth chart isn't exactly welcoming. The team has limited spots, and with young players showing promise, it's harder to justify keeping a veteran who hasn't been able to stay healthy or put together consistent performances recently. It's not just about talent, it's about fit, timing, and what the coaching staff believes will help the team win now and in the future. So, here's a question for you. Which Chiefs wide receiver do you think will surprise us this season? Someone who could break out or step up when it counts? Vote in the poll below or drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, what's your take? Should the Chiefs gamble on a veteran like this guy or focus completely on developing their young talent? If you're a fan who loves these roster breakdowns and insider perspectives, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. There's a lot more coming your way. Next, we'll talk about what options this player might have moving forward, whether it's with the Chiefs or elsewhere. Stay tuned. Now that we've looked at the Chiefs' current wide receiver depth and why it's tough for this former player to get back on the roster, let's explore what options he has going forward. When a player finds himself without a team this late in the offseason, the road ahead can take many different paths. One possibility is signing with another NFL team's practice squad. Many players use the practice squad as a way to stay in the league, work with coaches, and be ready if the team needs them during the season due to injuries or performance issues. Practice squads can be a lifeline for veterans looking to prove they still have something to offer. Another option might be looking beyond the NFL into alternative football leagues. Leagues like the XFL or USFL have become platforms where players can showcase their skills, get game tape, and potentially earn another shot in the NFL. For some players, these leagues have been a valuable way to reignite their careers. Staying ready is key, no matter what path the player chooses. That means staying in shape, training hard, and keeping an eye on opportunities as they arise. It's not easy. Being out of the league, especially when you've been part of a team like the Chiefs, but determination and perseverance are often what keep players alive in the game. So here's a question for you. Would you want to see this player make a comeback with the Chiefs if the opportunity comes up? And what do you think about alternative leagues as a route back to the NFL? Are they good opportunities or just a last resort? Let me know with a yes or no vote, and share your thoughts in the comments. And before we move on, if you're enjoying this deep dive and want to support this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep bringing you the latest and greatest news on the Chiefs. Up next, we'll wrap things up with what this all means for Chiefs fans and some final thoughts. Stay with me. To wrap things up, what does this situation mean for Chiefs fans and the team's future? First off, it's a reminder that the NFL is a tough business. Even players who have shown flashes of talent and had opportunities with great teams like the Chiefs can find themselves struggling to stay in the league. It's not always about skill alone. Timing, injuries, roster needs, and even a bit of luck play huge roles. For fans, this might be a bittersweet moment. On one hand, you want to see former players succeed and get another shot. On the other, the Chiefs are building toward a championship, and that means making tough decisions on who fits the team's vision now and down the road. The wide receiver room is competitive, and the focus will likely stay on younger players who have the potential to be the next big stars. That said, the door is never fully closed in the NFL. Injuries happen, roles change, and veterans can sometimes return when you least expect it. So keep an eye out during the season. You never know when a familiar name might pop back on the Chiefs' radar. If you followed this story and want to stay in the loop on all things Chiefs, from roster moves to injury updates and game analysis, be sure to subscribe now. Join the community of fans who get the freshest, most reliable news delivered straight to their screens. Before you go, tell me, what do you think about this former receiver's chances to make a comeback? And what should the Chiefs prioritize at the wide receiver position this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Also, please share this video with other Chiefs fans who want to stay informed and engaged. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive. Looking forward to bringing you more Total Chiefs news very soon.